Hi, this is Kendra from Pencil and Pigment, and I'm just finishing up an illustration I started, and I actually started recording this video earlier, but the sun came out, and I've mentioned in previous videos that like my neighbors are super handy, and so whenever the sun comes out, the tools come out, and on both sides you could just hear the nail guns, and it just sounded like I was sort of trapped in the middle. It sounded horrible, so I will spare you from the sheer volume of that because it's just too much. And then my cat started sprinting and meowing, and it was just, and then my battery died. It's just been one of those kind of days. So this morning I got up this morning, and where we live is, we live in a city. It's not like a huge major metropolitan city, but it's a large city-ish, but it's sort of surrounded by forest. So the forest creatures definitely come out of the woodwork all the time. Like, we have a bear that comes through our backyard, there's deer all the time. So this morning I just heard like the strangest rustling noise, and I wasn't sure if one of the feral cats was back, or, you know, maybe a raccoon or a possum or a skunk. The skunks oh man, most things are smart enough to give them a wide berth, but occasionally that doesn't happen, and it's horrible. But I could hear rustling out the front door, so I opened the front door and there's a deer like walking across the street having a great old time. Well, our neighbor has this cat, and the cat's name is Pepper, and Pepper has no fear. So Pepper loves our dog, even though they had never met, and Pepper just decided our dog's it. And the two of them sort of, our dog gets excited and tries to love Pepper with her whole body, and well, Pepper kind of feels like he owns the street, and the deer was crossing, and Pepper came out and kind of started to chase him, and the deer was like not paying attention, and a bunch of other critters went scram. It was just like a whole chain reaction of things nobody saw coming. So the deer like hit a bush, the bush jumped and startled, and like some rodents popped out, which scared the deer worse, which made the cat run, which made the neighbor's dog bark. Like, it turned into like this whole thing. It was so loud. It was so loud. And this deer like just ran. It just decided it was just gonna run. It didn't care where. And it ran to our front door while I had the front door opening. And I kid you not, like our neighbors walking her dog. And I love our neighbors. They're so cute. They're always baking us cookies and stuff. And the deer comes up, and I'm just like, what are you doing? You're making poor choices. And the deer just looks so startled. The deer was so startled, and it just like jumped up and like tried to run away. It was such a mess. And it took off, and then my neighbor's like, did you just tell that deer who's making a poor choice? And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to, I'm not from here. What do you tell deers when you don't want them to come into your house when they're looking for refuge and safety? And she's like, yeah, that wasn't it though. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. We don't know what we're doing. We're all just kind of trying our best over here. Oh man, I was laughing so hard. And she's like, yeah, okay. Have a good day. And I'm like, yeah, they'll make better choices than the deer did. Oh, I can't with some of the wildlife. You know, and it's not, most of the animals are fine. Like, they go out at hours and times of day that we're not out and about. Because, again, we have a Mastiff mix, and I can link the video about her. Our big old dog's name is Sunflower. And she's a big baby and all bark and no bite, but so most animals will either come like super early in the morning and they'll just kick it in the backyard, or they come out at dusk. The skunks like kind of come out from the sewers which is the craziest thing I've ever seen. But they're not, the big skunks aren't the problem. It's the smaller skunks, like the teenager skunks that really don't know what they're doing, and they just like spray at the ready all the time. And so we just kind of like tell our kids like, hey, stay away from skunks and avoid the really tiny ones. Those ones are extra excitable, and I'm just not into it. Like, the last thing we want is this house to smell like a skunk and not be able to get that odor and stuff out. But oh man, I can't with the deer. The deer are so funny. Oh. Like, what do you say to a deer? We have like a so we have a community forest and stuff, and there's a mountain lion that comes a few times in the year. She'll come, and where the people hike, and they're mindful, and it makes the news, and people are like, hey, the mountain lion's back, just, you know, give her space, she's doing her thing. But these deer, oh, and our dog, they stress her out so much. They like scare her, and she doesn't know what to say or do. So she just like does this really loud bark, and for the most part, they just kind of hop away. The bear that comes through is really small. It's a smaller bear, and it's mostly just looking for water, and we kind of thought he had left because summer has ended and we have way more rain, and so if it was looking for water, you know, there should be water in abundance everywhere, but it passed through our backyard again. We could tell. It's gross. But yeah, not a lot you could do about a bear walking through. And then sometimes the vultures come, like the turkey vultures will come and land in our backyard. They are so big. They're deceptively large. And when one of those lands in your yard, it like, the sky looks like it's gotten dark. It looks like, you know, one of those post-apocalyptic movies. They're just so crazy. And I'm always like, oh, I should get my camera out and take a picture. And by the time I've gotten my camera out, they've left and moved on. We had a raptor for a while in some of the large trees in our backyard. And that one was pretty cool. So we don't really let our cats outside. One of them would never want to go out anyway, so that's kind of moot. And the other one would just never come back. So our cats don't really go out. It's just not, it's not safe. I argue that, you know, it may not be the most safe for our 110-pound dog. Like, she's big. Every time we take her in, they go, she needs to be put on a little bit of a diet. We'd like to see her at 100 pounds. And every time we're like, we're giving her less, and now she weighs more. So it's either all the walking we're doing is just building up way more muscle than we had anticipated or something. Anyway. And I'm on the no-buy, right? So it's not like, and I've thought about it before, getting one of those outdoor wilderness wildlife cameras and just sort of recording all the things that go through our backyard and like posting some of that black and white footage. Or just showing the kids, and I don't know, working it into sort of our homeschool zoology or something. But oh man, sometimes I think maybe ignorance is bliss. Like, maybe I don't want to know like everything that's going through our backyard. Oh man, I can't with that. And I like tell my husband, I'm like, hey, I was talking to the deer this morning. He's like, oh yeah, how'd that go? I'm like, it went okay. They kind of listened. They need to work on their decision-making skills. I'm like, yeah, sounds like a deer. So I'm working on Portrait November. I have never done portraits with charcoal before. So that is something that I wanted to challenge myself with, and it's been fun. That's just a little bit of what I'm working on here. Anyway, I can't with the wildlife. Our neighbor's dog is really, really good with rodents, but like, it's loud. It's super loud when that situation is going on, and then I'm like, oh, I don't want to. I'll avoid that. He has a Jack Russell named Jack, and it is the cutest little thing. And our big beastie of a dog is just like, I love him, and then his dog's all, no, no, that's too much love. No, no, I like my space. You're too big. I can't with all the wildlife. Ugh. Anyway, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope you have found something fun to do or found some creative inspiration and are taking time to relax and draw and just have a really great creative November. This is one of the scratchiest mediums. You hear how loud that is? All right, I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.